What's up, everybody? So today I am back with another story time. Okay, so today's story time is going to be about the time a little friend of mine's, we're gonna call him I'm gonna say Cuban Poppy. We're just gonna call him Cuban Poppy, right? So this is story time about the time that Cuban Poppy had demons. So to be clear, I don't actually know, what these things were, like if they were demons or if they were like ghosts or I don't know, maybe even guardian angels. I don't know. Well, maybe not that one, but it was the first time that I would say that I experienced something. So like I've had experiences with the supernatural, right? But most of my experiences with like supernatural stuff, it was like corner of the eye kind of things, or like I'm more of the type of person who like I can feel something's around, but like I can't see it. Like I don't know if anybody's ever had that where you can feel like a really thick energy just entered and you're kind of expecting, like if somebody's at your house, right? And you're in another room, you can feel them coming into your room. So you like turn around and be like, hey, what's up? Maybe you don't even have to turn around sometimes because you just know they're there and you're like, what you need? And then somebody says something and they're like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, right. But there are times where I'll feel that and then I'll be like turning around to go look at whoever just came in, or I may just say like, what's up? And then, oh, no one's there. No one just came in here. And then that's when I realized, okay, I may have, what is it called? Clairvoyant? It's one of the clairs, claircognizant, clairvoyant, or I don't know what the other two are called. But I think it's like when you feel energy, but like I'm not really the person that sees ghosts. I would say I think I saw something once, but like I said, it was like corner of my eye. And then I know for sure I heard something once. But that's it. Most of the time for me, it's just I can feel something's around me, or I can feel something's coming, or I can feel something's about to happen. That's my thing. So imagine my surprise. Okay. So I want to start off with how I met him. So he was another person that I met off of Facebook. Because this is like when Facebook was popping. Facebook was like the way that TikTok is now. Or the way that TikTok and YouTube is the way that Facebook, I mean, I'm sure some people know, is the way Facebook was. So he was another person that I met off of Facebook, but this was like way after the stalker. Yeah. So I didn't, like, after the stalker situation, I did not meet people off of Facebook anymore. It was like, it's not even worth it. I know people in real life. I don't need to meet people online. So I was off of the whole online thing for a long time. But once I moved out, once I had this was the time I had my own apartment. Basically it was just like, I got my own apartment, I'm working, I'm living my life, I'm having fun. So, the goal wasn't to meet anybody off of Facebook. I was just on Facebook, kind of popping a little, just a little bit. I was popping a little bit. And this guy, hits me up. And at first I thought that he was just like a mixed, I thought he was like mixed with maybe like black and white, or black and Hispanic, or brown and white, or brown and Hispanic. Because he had like cornrows and stuff like that. And so he added me on Facebook, and I was just like, oh, he is fine. But he used to have just like cornrows or whatever. He had like big long hair. So I was like, he was definitely my type. He was definitely for sure my type. And we were like talking for a while. And like one day he goes like, hey, we should meet up. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm down for that. But like where or when kind of thing. So he set up a day that we can meet, and I think he was like, just like, let's just chill in like his car and like, let's get to know each other. And at first I'm just like, because if I don't know if like you guys ever like, have you ever like have you guys ever dated a guy? If you ever like date certain types of dudes and they don't plan anything, they don't want to go anywhere, and usually it ends up you chilling at their place so they can, or you chill in their car, and then either they think that you're gonna like give them some, you know what I mean, some in their car. And because of my paranoia and my experiences with men, like sometimes I feel like I bring the worst out in men. Like if men are not good men, like if I meet a dude who's not a good dude, they don't even like try to pretend with me that they're good dudes for the most part. Because then obviously I've ended up with shitty men who were pretending for a long time and then the mask came off. But it's just like certain type of, and I think, you know, now that I'm older, I think I realize that it's everyone, not every man or every person, but I just mean a lot of women have dealt with what I dealt with. And I always thought like, dang, is there something wrong with me? Like, why do men have the tendency to like just not even like aggressive, but just like be gross as F and then think, I'm trying to stop cussing. Be gross as F and then just assume that, I don't know, like, is there something about me that makes a man think that I'm just going to be like, oh yeah, like, look, in your car. What the fuck? But it's happened before. So when he was like, oh, you know, we gonna chill in my car. And not it's happened before like I did it. It's happened before like I've been asked entirely way too many times. And then now I'm just like busting out of people's cars, storming off, walking home. Like, you know, back then it wasn't like Uber, but like I'm hitting up taxis or I'm taking a bus because no way did you just ask to have like a little date and your ideal of a date is us doing that in your car, or we go out on a date and now you think I owe you in your truck or your car? Are you crazy? Like that? Oh, like what? I don't know what it be giving, but it ain't giving that. So I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Like I really, I'm not even trying to do that. I gotta go to work tomorrow actually, so I can't even meet up with you. Lost calls, never mind. So then he's like, he messages me back and he's like, oh no, we don't have to. Well, after I say that, I go to sleep. But when I get the next message, he's like, oh no, we don't have to just chill in my car. I mean, I just want to get to know you before we like go do something. So I'm like, do what? Do what? Because the plans, you got to lay out the plans for me or I'm not going to believe you. Like if you're like, hey, let's go do something spontaneous. Sure, like, oh, yep, I'm down for it. But don't be like, oh, yeah, I got something planned for us. And then think I'm just going to go for it. Because like I said, I've been tricked. Oh, it's this little surprise. And we at McDonald's, you know, I was going to say McDonald's is good. No, it's not. Even that, like, I feel like a lot of women, we've gotten to this point where we want the men to think that we're obtainable. Oh, look, you know what they like call pick-me's? Like, oh, look, I'm obtainable. All women aren't like that. That's not the point. The point is not us saying that all women want expensive meals and We're not saying that. We're saying, you know what McDonald's is, right? It is a terrible fucking food, and it is of a low quality food. Now, if we're on the go or we've been, you know, together for a while and, hey, we just got to go get something quick. Sometimes the money be tight and you got to do what you got to do. And sometimes it's not like it's nasty. Sometimes it be good. But you know damn well what we're saying. You know damn well if you are trying to impress someone, it ain't going to be McDonald's. It's just not. The setting of McDonald's isn't even giving romantic. Okay? Because if you think like, okay, so you could pay for like this meal, that meal, between y'all two, you're going to be spending at least about $20 if you want to get some good quality food at McDonald's. Does that make the date better? No. Let's say you like get whatever you want on the meal and the chick gets like 5 burgers and you getting 5 burgers and y'all getting fries and salads and it look like a feast and the bill costs you about $100. That's not the point. So now you've spent more money, yes, but the quality of the date has not gone up. You see what I'm saying? It's not about the quantity of the money you're spending. It's about the quality of the date that you're going on. So if you go to Walmart and spend $5 on some watermelon, the pre-cut ones, a little cheaper if you get the holes, but you want to cut it all, that's even more romantic. You want to make a fucking honeydew bowl, you know what I'm saying, and put a little tahini on there. And you got this cute little blanket and you set it up at the park, and there's a sparkling cider in the dang thing. Sparkling cider costs about like $3. But you put so much effort into it that the quality of the date is higher than the quality of the date at McDonald's, even though you spent less money. It's y'all don't be doing the real math. Y'all just be like, oh, I only got 1, 2, 3, 4. You're a fucking gold digger, you whore. It's not that serious. It's quality over quantity. Now, not saying that some women don't want chang, chang, bang, bang, bang. And I'm not even saying I don't understand why they don't. Look at the economy. Look at the economy. But that's what I would say. It's not all women. It's not all women in the sense of I just want your money and I don't want nothing else. No, of course that's not all women. Just like all men aren't, I just want the cheeks and nothing else. Sometimes it's just, hey, my words or my love language is physical, and I want that physical touch from that woman. But if all you're doing is just give me that, then yes, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it, or you are going to get it. But I promise you, someone somewhere out there is talking about how you're a fucking predator. And that too. Y'all be thinking because y'all get the cheeks, oh, she just easy. Honestly, she probably gave you so many signs that she didn't want to do it. And because you say to yourself, well, if I don't want to do something, then I won't do it. That's not everybody. That's not everybody. And that women don't get that same, I'm off track. Women don't get that same respect. Okay? So do what you will. So that's what my thing was. I need a quality date because I'm sick of weirdos. I was sick of fucking weirdos. I have so many stories of weirdos. It's fucking insane. But I just didn't want another weirdo. So then he lays out this cute little itinerary of like, oh no, this is what I got planned. Boom, 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 boom. And so he wanted to take me on the strip, and we were gonna I don't know if I should say the hotel. It doesn't matter about the hotel. It's not like a bad hotel. It's a very beautiful hotel. But, one day one day I'm going to like my numbers, right? And I just got to be careful of what I say because certain people, and I don't think I personally care if people know that these story times are about them. But do I want drama? No, not really. So he took me to a very expensive, nice hotel. That was the plan. And then we were going to go do the sightseeing there. And then we were going to be in get a hotel room. So I was like, okay, all right. But I did at least let him know that I don't know about the hotel room part because like you're cool and all that, but I need to know the vibe physically. Like I need to know the vibes in person. And don't judge me. So when we so he pulls up. He was one of those type of dudes though who'd be like, okay, yeah, let's do this. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. And I'm standing outside and it's been like 15 minutes. Oh my God, they used to annoy me about him. So we go out on our date. We're chilling and talking in front of my apartment, and that's when he was like, like I understand, so I'm not gonna pull off because I want to make sure that you're comfortable first. So like that. And he was so motherfucking smooth. Like when I tell you, this man was the confidence that he had. Like, cause I'm over here like. I'm like fidgety when I'm nervous. Or sometimes I don't even be nervous, but like I just move a lot. So when I'm nervous, I move more. Like even this, I talk with my hands. Like I don't know if it's like the East Coast thing, but I talk with my hands and I move a lot. But like when I'm nervous, I feel like I'm very still, but like everything else is still fucking moving. So I'm just like, and so I could tell he noticed. So I'm like, okay. Because, that man was fine as fuck. So I'm like, I'm relaxing, I'm chilling. His vibe was good, but he had like those intense ass like eyes, and but then he's saying like, oh, your eyes are intense. So then I could feel like the connection happening, because like I said, when I do that like eye thing, when I feel comfortable enough to look in somebody's eyes and they're comfortable enough to look in mine, and I can feel like, oh, this energy is not bad. There doesn't feel like there's any like ill intentions in there. I don't know if we had the like lock eyes and then I'm like, oh, I'm in love. We didn't have like that, but he made me feel comfortable because he wasn't just like, looking around and seeing who might see us. And he was cool. He was relaxed and he was fine. That man was, so like we're chilling, we're talking, we're vibing. And he's like, okay, so like, is it cool to pull off now? And I'm like, yeah, okay, you could do that. You could do that. So he pulls off. We're riding. He's playing music, and he's very, I call it cultured. I don't like that I act black, you act white shit, because. So I would say he's cultured like he was raised around us melanated people. So his music was like, what was even playing then? I don't know, but I think it was like some Chris Brown or something. I used to listen to Chris Brown heavy. So like we vibing, we listen to music, we're dancing and shit, and we getting all hype. And he was smoking weed, but luckily he wasn't too. Like, I just did not fuck with men who smoked weed. I didn't. Or who at least smoked weed constantly. Because I talked to people who smoke weed, or like my first love. He smoked weed, but it was like very far in between. Versus my second love, who was just like all day, roll up. Oh, we gotta go here, roll up. We gotta go there, roll up. So he wasn't doing that. He was smoking his weed, but he was still like, he seemed like he was still in his body and not in his head. So we finally get there, and so we finally get there. The sightseeing was so phenomenal, because at that time I had never been there before, or at least I had never remembered being there. I probably was there like as a kid when we first got to Vegas. But we kind of moved from Vegas to New York, Vegas to New York, Vegas to New York. So it was kind of hard to ever like really get to sightsee. So when I was like, oh, it was so, it was beautiful. And so we get to the, the date was very romantic, but this isn't really about the date. So we get to the hotel, he was whining and dining. It was bubble baths. It was, I know what you're thinking. First night, actually, yes. I did. This is something I would have been embarrassed about back then. But when I like really look at the trajectory of my life in this view, I don't really have much regrets on my end. I don't. Like, staying with people too long kind of thing is more my issue versus like if I ever had a one night stand, or if I ever had a threesome, or like body count and all, like, cause and if you're one of those women who's like, no, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying go out there and be a whore. But because people would make it seem like if you did anything outside of the box that they didn't deem as not a whore, you're a whore. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think in my entire life, I probably did it on the first night 3 times. I'm fucking 32. Imagine, I'm saying literally 3 times. Imagine that being like, oh, you're a whore. How? And then the niggas like, oh yeah, I had like 100 hoes. Listen, if you are a whore, you don't get to talk about people being a whore. Okay? How about you just be like, welcome to the club. Because if you're a player and I'm a whore, then you're a whore and I'm a player. But no, we did. I don't even have to explain myself, but we did. It was so fucking romantic. It was. It really was. So Like, our whole thing was romantic. He's like one of them. You know what, to be quite honest, I used to feel like he was like the one that got away. And the only reason why I changed my mind about it is because that's a different story time. But I'm definitely going to tell that story time. But it won't make sense right now. But yeah, so it was like, we was making magic. We made some magic. Well, it's not even, now I think about it, it wasn't even the first night because I had already known him. But I don't know if people think of it that way. Like, I've already known him, so it's not on the first night. But because I didn't meet him physically, and this is the first time I'm meeting him physically, and then so then it's on the first night. I don't know. I don't care about the rules. So yeah, it was really fucking romantic. The food was bomb. I mean, the beds was plush and big, and it was like one of them newer hotels, not like that old style look. It was quality over quantity. So yeah. After our date, you know, I need to get out of there. I'm in there. After our date, he's like, you know, we say our like goodbyes, and you know, he's like, no, I definitely want to have another date. I'm gonna plan something else. I hope you still want to come. Like, you know, how are you feeling? Are you comfortable? Like, you know, like, was it too, you know, fast? And I'm like, shit. I'm not gonna be one of them ones. I'm not gonna be one of them ones who's like, nah, yeah, let's right now. But like when the vibe is like right and the connection is right, the conversation is flowing, we're attracted to each other, we smell good, we look good, the scenery is just, how could you say no? And I already knew this wasn't about to be a one or doneers. I knew that. Like, I knew that off tops. I knew it off tops the way that he made sure that I was comfortable just in the car. Versus just being like looking around thinking somebody's after him. Like, I can't. Well, I don't say I can't stand a paranoid man because I be paranoid. But to me, paranoia feels like a lack of confidence, if that makes sense. You're either always in some shit or you lack confidence in a way. So you're constantly like, and that's why I'm trying to work with myself. Like, just fucking find something to look at and stare at it and just, like, don't feel like I gotta keep. I'm working on it. But, yeah, so I'm like, the date was phenomenal. I'm like, you know, thank you for taking me out. Like, so he drops me off and I'm like doing like this, just like, what a lucky woman I am. I'm just like, fucking, I'm thinking about the whole thing, and I'm like, okay. So I finally snap out of like, it's got to go back to work, back to reality. But he didn't like, we exchanged numbers too, but he didn't like take too long to like hit me up. He was hitting me up right after, so I'm just like at work, like, you stupid. Sending pictures and shit, and like, and it was like mutual. It didn't feel like it was just like, send me a pic now. What are you wearing now? You know what I mean? Like, you're in the shower without me. So it felt like it was like a mutual, like, and then he's sending me pictures, and I'm like, oh, and that's when oh yeah, okay. So I think I'm misunderstanding that. Okay, so when I met him, he had 2 braids. But when he sent me the pic later on, like when we're sending each other pictures, that's when he had cornrows. Yeah, that's when he had cornrows. And I remember thinking like, is that? But no, it looked good on him. It really did. It looked good on him. It fit him. It didn't look like he was going for that kind of like cultural appropriation. It definitely felt more like cultural appreciation. But I don't know if I was just thinking that because he was fine and I liked him. But no, I mean, it really didn't look like it. It didn't look like, oh, look at me and my do-rag. Like, you know, like, chill. Share money, whatever. But, yeah, so he's sending pictures. I'm like, okay, I see you. So he, you know, asks us to call me. He's like, oh, I want to hear your voice. So he asks us to call me. And when he calls me, like we're talking and things like that, but I think I had realized in our conversation that he was like a hood dude, which kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it confused me, because I think I was used to more grimy hood dudes, like not necessarily always they take care of themselves, but they're kind of going for that like rough, like, you know, hoodies and baggy things and sagging it. So when I first met him, he wasn't really like sagging or wearing like too much of like baggy clothes. It was more, I think it was like a puffer jacket, but it was like more fitting, but with that kind of a cultural style. Not too, what is that? But so yeah, like he was like in the like, it sounded like he was around other dudes. So he sounded more, not more hood to me, but just like when he's talking to them, it's more like, cuz. And I'm like, oh, okay. And mind you, this is before I met my, what's his name? This is before I met Bernard. So he was saying things like, you know, like, oh, chill, cuz, like, what's up, cuz? And I was like, is he? Because it wasn't given that when I met him. Like I said, he looked, you know, slightly hoodish, slightly, you know, like cultured, you know. But I just thought it was more like a swag. I didn't realize he was a hood dude. So I was like, oh, all right. I mean, that's different. But hearing that, I'm like, okay, I'm a peep game, because I don't even know if I want to go down that road. Like I said, that wasn't something I was interested in. Like, and obviously, if I'm from the hood, I'm meeting a lot of hood dudes. Obviously, if I'm from the hood, some dudes that I'm going to talk to are from the hood. But like I say, like, I'm at this time in my life where I'm trying to progress. And I'm not even trying at this point. I'm just doing it. Like, I'm doing that. So it was like, it felt like one of them, you can't take hood dudes everywhere. And I'm trying to go everywhere. Like, I'm not trying to be limited by these hood things. And that's always been my thing. Like, I'm not trying to be, what do they say? You're something of your environment. I'm not trying to be a product of my environment. So I already know, though. I know me. So I know, like, okay, I want to go ice skating. Are you going to go ice skating? Do I have to, like, talk you into going ice skating? Are you going to say ice skating is for white people? Are you going to say ice skating is bougie? Are you going to say niggas don't ice skate? I don't have time for that. So that's why I didn't. And it's crazy because it ended up being like that anyway. Like, I feel like majority of the people I ended up with were hood dudes. Which is why I feel like my life for a long time felt so limited. So don't be afraid to date outside your race, which he was outside of my race. But that's why I wasn't expecting that. So I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to deal with that. But, you know, the conversation was cool. It was flowing. But it kind of I had that in the back of my head, like, cuz really? Ooh, you ain't tell me that. Even that. Let's say, like, I meet a hood dude, right? If it's a hood dude who can go do other stuff, like, oh, I'm from the hood, or I grew up in the hood, but I'm trying to do other stuff. I'm trying to have other stuff. I'm not trying to sit here and have a house in the hood, or have a baby mama in the hood that I live off of, and then I be here. Yeah, I be everywhere. I be here, or I got my mama's house in the hood that I be at. Like, if it's like, okay, we're both from the hood, we may have like hood tendencies, we're still gonna go places. If we're gonna go to an elegant restaurant, let's dress up. Everything doesn't have to be hood. You know what I mean? Or like, let's revamp the hood, and we're just cultured people. You know what I mean? Like, we just have cultural sayings, we have cultural swag, but we can still go up in Benihana's or I'm not really like a 5-star restaurant person, but my thing is more like, I want to go to like Paris, or I want to go to like the Netherlands. Like, I want to go see some snow. Like, I want to, like, on Christmas, decorate a Christmas tree You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have that. Let's go to a coffee shop and read a book. Like, it doesn't have to be like, we on a grind, we hustling, like money, 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 money. It don't have to be that all the time. Relax. Breathe. So yeah, he's like, after we were getting off the phone, he's like, hey, I'd like to see you again. Can we go do something? So I'm like, yeah, sure, we can do something. And then, and then that's when he tells me about this spot. It was like a hookah/dance club. A hookah lounge / dance club. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And he's like, yeah, you want to go dancing? And I'm like, you know how bad, and I haven't even had that since then. Like, I've been to a club, like, with a dude and we're dancing, but just like that, do you want to go dancing? So I know when we're going dancing, we're going to go dancing, not just like, I'm supposed to be like, or we just sitting around, or because I'd be dancing. I don't give, if the person I'm with is not dancing, then you're not going to like me, because I'm going to be like, and then you're like, we're supposed to be being cute. Shit. I'm not gonna just sit around. Sometimes, like, I've done that before, but it was just because I didn't feel good when I was there. And I was just like, nah, this ain't it. I want to go home. But, so he's like, oh, you want to go dancing? It's like salsa. I think he said like salsa night, or yeah, salsa night at this hookah lounge. And I'm like, yes, of course I do. I ain't know how to motherfucking salsa dance, but I was about to figure it out. I'm in that motherfucker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't even think they dance like that. I don't even think it's like that type of step. I think it's like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Anyways, so I was like, hell yeah. But I'm nervous because I'm like, dang, he probably know how to fucking salsa his ass off. He gonna be in there fucking swinging chicks and shit, and I'm be over here like, just fucking. Anyways, so, but I don't know. I'm like, I'm not about to look like I don't fucking belong there. So I put on my like sexiest little I got one right now too, little salsa skirt where it does that motherfucking twirl, 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 twirl. Well, I tell y'all, I had so much fucking fun. That man, and he came, that boy came in with a motherfucking silk blouse. Got a little button, I think it was like fucking purple. Was it purple? Oh yeah, it was, because I ended up, I don't know, I think I have a picture of it, but I had this black silk, like a black and purple silk dress. So it was like black on the straps, and it kind of goes into this silky black triangle where my breast was, and then like a black, like, you know how under your boob it had like that black thing that kind of cinched you in, and then the bottom was like this twirly purple silk dress. This man showed up in a purple silk blouse, button up. I don't know if they are called blouses for men, but this purple silk button up with some like black pants. I said, not us looking like we about to be on fucking Dancing with the Stars. And we're like fucking rolling, because it's like, what are the chances that you have a purple silk blouse and I have a purple silk dress, and then you ask me to go dancing, and it's like the perfect sausage? I say yes. When we went into that club, people was really looking at us like I'm about to, and I did not. I mean, I'm not bad because I danced back then. So I knew a good 1-2 step. And then I believe I had enough of the passion for loving dancing that I made it work, because I didn't know how to salsa dance. But I made it work. We was having a fucking blast. We really looked like a fucking couple on Dancing with the Stars. It is Dancing with the Stars. Yeah, we look like a couple on Dancing with the Stars. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And his sister, I want to say his sister was there. Yeah. So his sisters were there, and he introduced me to his sisters. And I will say it was a bit awkward. I don't think they liked me. I don't think they liked me. I don't think they liked me at all. I got the looks. I got the looks probably in general for being probably one of the only black people in there. And here I am with this fine ass, this fine ass Cuban man. And he wasn't like, I mean, he was like very attentive. He wasn't like, okay, oh, she's fine. She's fine. She's fine. Them wondering eyes that men be doing. He was like very attentive, just like, bah, bah, I was like, yes. But no, they didn't like me. Well, no. I think the younger sister was just kind of like, probably looking at it like that he probably had chicks, and I was just another one of them chicks. So it's just like, hey, hi, how are you doing? Hi, nice to meet you. But the older one was just like she was dead ass sitting. Like, like, let's say this is the lounge chair. So we're all, not weird because I'm up and dancing, but like you would be sitting on this level of the lounge or the chairs. She's sitting on top right here. Why? There's just like a bunch of chicks around her. And she's just sitting on the top like fucking. I'm like, what the fuck? Do y'all own this place? But she just likes watching me like this. And I'm like, okay, all right. That's weird. But I think there was more to it. But like so he had a son. He had a son. And at this time I didn't have kids. But he had a son, and I think that his baby mama was also a black woman or brown woman. And that baby mother, or I don't even like calling people that, the child of the kid's mama, I think they were friends. I think the older sister and the child's mother. Am I saying that right? Why does that sound so weird? The child's mother, yeah. I think they were friends, so I think it has something to do with that, which I found out later on, but it doesn't really make or break the story, so I don't feel like I need to give it any tea, because I never met the child's mom. He sent me like pictures of him and his kid, and I'm like, oh, he's so cute. But I never met them, and they never like disrupted the transgressions. That's probably not the right word. I never met any of them. So, but I think they were friends. I know that much, that afterwards that and he was like, nah, don't worry about her, like whatever. But it was so much fun. It was fucking sexy. It was like suave. It was, woo! I had some cute black pointy shoes. We looked like fucking dancers. We looked like dancers. It looked legit. I was like, I don't care what this man asks me to do. I know it's going to be fun. I just know it's going to be like the best dates I've ever had in my life. To this day, it's probably still some of the best dates I've ever had in my life. As far as like the whole thing being good. Because like I've had great dates where like the place is nice, but the nigga's weird. Or I've had dates where like, oh, the is like, not, I gotta stop saying. The man is like, attentive and, but then like the energy feels a little off, or this be weird as hell, asking weird ass. You know what I mean? Or the quality of the place sucks balls, so it kind of like we can't even really, cause like somebody yelling over there and people getting cussed out over there, and we don't know if we should be here, and some of the best dates. So after that date, we pretty much started hanging out almost every fucking day. Like he started to drop me off at work, pick me up from work, take me home. Like we would go eat, go on lunch break. Like we damn near became a couple without ever actually saying that we were. Like we really kept it like friends with benefits. Like we were really getting close as friends, but we had the benefits, if you know what I'm saying. So this is where the story gets a little weird. Like I said, we're hanging out every day. So then eventually we get to a point where he starts showing me his hood side. What he do, like how he was getting his money. Well, not how he was getting. I don't think that was the only thing he was doing, but like you could say it was his side hustle, but his side hustle looked like it was making more than people's regular hustles. And his regular hustle was making more than people's side hustles and regular hustles combined. I was like, okay, I didn't realize this man had money. Like, he had money. It's just like it didn't really faze me in the way of like, ooh, give me some. But I was quite surprised. Like, oh, you get money. This is I'm a little scared, mostly because is somebody watching you? You feel what I'm saying? Is the three letter people's watching you? Because something tells me they may know that you get this kind of dough. So yeah, I started meeting like his hood dudes. So then it was, I'd be like sitting in the car, like, oh, we need to make a stop, and I'll be sitting in the car, and I just be like watching him, like, damn, that man is fucking fine, like, wow. But I didn't really fully see this yet, so I didn't know like he had that hood in him. So I'm just like watching it. He had like on all white. I believe he had on all white that day, like all white, clean as fuck. And he go out and he's talking to his like homeboy or whatever. And the dude looks at me in the car and he's like, and they start dapping up like bam, bam, boom. I'm like, okay. You ain't gotta hype me up like that. And they like start exchanging shit and, pop, pop, poop, pop. And he comes back in the car and then he just like sits there. But he turns over to like me and he's staring at me. He's like, you is fine. I was like, okay. Well, you do, but don't make me shy now. So we drive right back to the pad and we and we go like, a couple rounds. And then he's like, I want you to meet my mom. And I was like, for real? And he's like, yeah, he was gonna go take a trip out of town to go see his mother, and he wanted me to meet her. So I was like, fine, why not, right? Let's fucking go. Because I don't really be meeting, let me not say that. I be meeting the hell out of people's mamas, but not like that. It's always, like, obviously, the people I've been in, like, serious relationships with, I've met their mothers. But as far as, like, dating, it's just be, hey, mama, this another one. And then it'd be like, oh, and I always had an issue with meeting people's mothers because it's like, if I'm meeting your mom that fast, and I'm not meeting her, we're kind of like, oh, okay, we're going to hang out at my house today. Oh, yeah, okay, cool, let's go. And we're walking past moms. Moms, this is Mickey. Mickey, this is moms. Hi. Oh, hey, honey. Just watching my stories. It's like, oh, you do this. So to have somebody be like, hey, I would really like for you to meet my mother. Are you okay with that? And I can say, I'm not ready. Or, yeah, sure. It's different. It's nice. It's like, I think a little part of me thought we were going to get serious because of that. Because if that happens with me and a dude, we're usually really fucking serious. We're talking years of relationship. But I don't know. I didn't really, at that point, I didn't want to date a man with kids. I didn't want to be serious with a man who already has a kid. Because I'm like, I don't have a child. And I'm not sure I trust men enough to think like you're just going to pick up your kid and for good reasons. I'm not like I never just put that on people like, oh, you got kids, you're cheating. For good reasons. And so I didn't know if I really wanted to take him seriously, but when he asked me that, it kind of put a little it planted a seed in my head that, okay, I could see it potentially going there. I'm not gonna like do too much, but I could see it potentially going there. So it comes to the day we take a trip out of town, and I'm like nervous because I'm like, I don't know if she'll like me, and some people don't really like black people, brown people, and I'm like, I don't want it to be this weird thing of like, oh wow, your hair, this, and I've dated outside my race before, and sometimes people won't be like, sometimes people don't be like that, but sometimes they are. Sometimes they will be like, oh, you're dating black girls now? Oh wow, I didn't know that, honey. And you're like, am I an experiment? So yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm nervous, but I can handle it. I can do this. So we finally get in her house, and her house was so pretty. And more pretty, like in the way, well, pretty in general, but she had like plants. I knew then that I wanted to be a plant woman when I went to her house. It was plants everywhere, bamboos and ferns and cactuses and snake plants and aloe vera. She had plants all up in that fucking place. Very sweet woman. She was very beautiful. She had like really long, thick, black hair. Like, I would say, yeah, she looked like she was a dancer herself. Like, very thick black, and it was just like wavy. I was like, wow, your mother is beautiful. Very sweet, very beautiful woman. We get to know each other. We're talking, like she asked me, oh, how'd you guys meet? And I let her know. And I'm not gonna lie, in the back of my head, I was kind of wondering, like, dang, what if she likes the baby mama more too or something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's gonna obviously know because she's like talking about her grandson. I'm like, I think that's why I never wanted to date men with kids, because like, and it's crazy because not at this time, I didn't experience at this time, but later on in life, I experienced that. This mom don't like me because she just want to see her grandkids from the other chick, and the other chick acting funny, but I just didn't want to experience I didn't want to feel uncomfortable, but I think I was fine. I think I did pretty good. Like, I didn't really overthink it too much because at that time I didn't even have experience with men who had kids. He was the first person that I experienced with men who had kids, but afterwards, way after him, it was like I had way more experience, and I think I projected what I thought was going to happen. What did happen with them, I thought was going to happen with him, but it didn't happen. He was a cool dude, man. He was such a good dude. But yeah, so I just tuned out like, damn, why did we? And then I remembered again, like, yeah, you. Well, actually, it wasn't like we didn't separate because of him. We separated because I eventually wanted something more serious, and he didn't. And I wasn't about to wait. I was not about to wait for somebody to want to get, like, we spent a lot of time together. We had a lot of fun together. And if you still don't know, then I'm not the one for you. So I moved on. But then he didn't like the fact that I moved on. Like, I think he thought I wasn't gonna, so he did some fuck shit. But yeah, I said that's another story time. Because it won't really make sense right now. So yeah, because we're out of town, right? We weren't gonna go back home the night because it got dark, so we were gonna wait the next day to take a trip back out. So we set up a little pallet in her front room by these big, huge, beautiful plants. And I'm sleeping on the side of the plants, and he's sleeping on the side of the couch. So I know I said in the last story time, not the last one, but one of my other ones, where my mother was listening to the radio, and the radio was talking about, like, people cheating and all that stuff, and I couldn't unfeel it. Like, I couldn't untune to it. So that's my thing. I either hear something and my brain won't let me forget it, and it's telling me something, and then it usually ends up happening, whatever that thing is. Like, if, like, I could be watching a show, and the random show will be like, yeah, and fires are everywhere, and then for some reason I'm like not letting it go, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm cooking, and then I'll go in the kitchen and something's burning. I get that feeling where something's coming into the room, and then I realize it's not a person that I can see. And then it's my dreams. I'll get messages in my dreams. I'll have a dream, like, it could be the same thing. If I fall asleep while cooking, that rarely ever happened to me, but just an example. If I fall asleep while cooking, I'll have a dream about a fire, and then I'll immediately wake up like, oh shit, and then realize, oh, I just fell asleep on some food, like that. So boom, boom, boom. We go to sleep, right? And I'm facing towards the plants, big plants, huge plants, right? with like big pots. So, and these plants are huge and they've grown out of the pot. And so like they kind of like connect in this area. So I'm like, I thought I woke up, right? I wake up and I'm looking in these plants and I spot a man laying down the same way that I'm laying down. So I'm like laying down this way. And there's a man peeking through the plants, staring right at me, right? And so I wake the fuck up. In the dream, though, I'm still dreaming. I wake the fuck up quick as hell, like, what the fuck? And this man is coming out of these trees, and he's explaining that he's some family member of theirs. I want to say like an uncle or something. He explained that he's a family member of theirs. Oh yeah, actually I did, and I'm just like, what are you doing in the plants? What are you doing here? And he's like being seductive, like very attractive Cuban man. And he's still being seductive. Like I can feel that he wants me. You know what I'm saying? I can feel that he wants me. And so in the dream though, I'm not really being like, oh hell no, I got a man. Hey, like I'm not doing that. I'm being more like seductive back, but I'm still kind of like, what are you doing here? Who are you? And he's like, he explains like, oh, he's there like an uncle or a brother or something. And then I'm like, but why are you here? And he's still coming towards me, and I'm still being like open to this man. I don't know who the fuck he is. And we end up in the dream. And I mean, and it was extremely like passionate. So when I wake up for real, like when, you know, we're still, and I wake up for real, I actually, and so I'm like, what the fuck was that? Or I could tell, like I'm not doing it like as I'm waking up, but I can tell that I did. So I kind of have like, I'm shifting and shit, like what the fuck? like I felt like I actually, I mean, obviously I did that night. So I don't mean like it felt like physically. I mean, it felt like I released. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't think I had ever had a dream about me with somebody. Like, I mean, I feel like I've had dreams like that, right? But it's like, it looked like I'm somebody else, or like it's not really me. It's just like that. And then I'm more seeing it play out as two different people. And I'm like this fly on the wall. Like I've had that. But I've never had like a dream where I'm actually look like I'm in my own body with a man. And then I wake up and it's like, we did? Like I'd imagine like that's what a wet dream would be like. And I don't know if women have those. Well, I think I learned afterwards that, you know, either we have them or I've just started randomly having them. But they would be like that. Like after that dream, I've had more dreams where stuff like that happens. But not someone I don't know, or not somebody where I look like I'm in the exact place that I'm in, even in the dream. Like that shit was like real. It was so real. So when I woke up, I actually got up like, what the fuck? And I'm looking over there and I'm like, is there a motherfucker in there? Like, is it like I'm scared. I'm like, I'm in this, and I look over here, he's not fucking there. He's not there. So I'm like, I can't connect this to that. Like, maybe we were while I was asleep, like, or maybe he's like up against me and I'm just having like this and I want to wake up and get some. It felt too real. It was fucking wild. And I was scared as hell. And then now I wake up and he's not fucking there. So I'm like, dang, I don't even know what to do. So I'm just sitting there. Like, I don't want to get up and go rummaging through her kitchen and, hello, Miss Lady. I don't remember her name. So I'm not even going to give her one. Like, Miss Lady. Hey. Like, so I'm just like, so I'm probably contemplating right there for like 2 whole minutes. And then he comes through the front door. And he's looking at me and I'm looking at him. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I just had this really weird ass dream. And he's like, about what? So I'm telling him about the fucking dream. And he's still coming in. He's coming in with like McDonald's. So he went and got breakfast. See, ain't nothing wrong with McDonald's. I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with McDonald's. But so he went and got breakfast. It was like he got like breakfast sandwiches and fucking, what's some things called, hash browns and orange juices and coffees and like 2 big ass bags. So he's sitting down with the bags and he's like taking the stuff out. Like, yeah, I got his breakfast. And I used to love me some McDonald's breakfast, but I was not fucking paying attention. I was like, I had this dream and there was a man in them bushes and I didn't know who he was, and I woke up and you wasn't right here, and what the fuck? So he's like slightly laughing, but at the same time, he looks concerned, and not concerned like, dang, you be having crazy dreams. Like concerned, like, what do he look like? And I'm describing what he looks like, and then after he sits the food on, sits it all out on this what's it called, end table, he goes and he leaves. And he goes talk, well, no, he didn't leave, but he goes and like, oh, I need to talk to my mother real quick. So his mom comes out with him, and she was like, you had a dream about what? And so I'm telling her the dream, and she looks at him, and she's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. That's weird. And she's like, they start speaking in Spanish. So I'm like, something y'all want to tell me? Huh? Is there something y'all want to motherfucking tell me? He eventually sits back down. She goes. He sits back down. And he tells me this story about Cuba. Something that happened in Cuba. I'm not going to tell the story because it's just basically something really bad happened in their family. And that person looks like the thing that happened to that person. I don't feel comfortable with saying it because this is still a person that did go through something and has passed. And you know what I mean? But it was fucked up. It was third world country effed up, and that's how they got to America. But I'm like, well, I see, because after he told me that, I didn't feel comfortable with saying, well, was he like, well, what's the deal with wanting to get some booty from me? But I didn't want to ask more because I'm like, this story already sounds so foul that I didn't feel comfortable asking him to explain what type of person he was personality-wise. Does he, does he do things to women? But it was crazy because I'm like, okay, can we leave? I'm ready to go. And he's like, okay, let's just at least eat breakfast and then we'll head out. But now I'm like, because you're in a way you're kind of implying that this actually happened. Like, because what they believe, in their culture, you're basically implying that I had a real experience in a different realm, spiritually, with one of y'all peoples. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. I could not get out of there fast enough. I was scared as... But it's hard to explain that even though I was scared, the experience wasn't scary. Like I said, like we were interested. We were... So, even thinking back about it now, the experience itself wasn't scary. It was just wild, feeling like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I've never been through something like that. So it was just like, y'all trying to tell me this is real? Y'all trying to tell me this type is real? I don't know. Look, I'm all looking around like, the fuck? No. So I couldn't get out of there fast enough. I was like, oh, this is going to be a story for the books. Never thought I was going to tell it. But memory-wise, I think I did tell my sister. But I'm like, yeah, this one for the books. This weird. This weird. This is strange. This is outer worldly. We go home. He drops me off. Like, I honestly could not stop thinking about that shit. I couldn't. It was way on me heavy because I'm like, I don't know. Like, is he gonna be here? Like, he in my house? Like, is he gonna? Like, how does that shit work? Like, how does stuff like that work? Does it follow you everywhere? I don't think it did. I don't think it did. We still hanging out, but we still hanging out, and then he asked for another date. Honestly, I was kind of like, I just need a little bit of time to kind of like wrap my brain around, and he's kind of like, oh no, like, it's not that serious. Like, these things happen. So I kind of felt like maybe I am over exaggerating. So I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it. So then we go to this another expensive restaurant in Vegas.